What is going on, Grinders? It's Chief. We are in the building. It is Thursday, June 22nd, 2023, and it's Take Your Pick'em, folks. Thanks so much for joining me today as we continue to try to walk through another slate of pick'em plays on the board. I hope we can get a special guest on next week, one of my esports buddies, and he can come on and we can talk a little bit of esports as we continue to try to make this show great for the community. Once again, I do host the show. I provide some content for the show, but this show is for you guys and for the great community of DFS players, and hopefully I can help a few people along the way in any way that I can, whether that's helping you make some money, helping you maybe get on your first show, anything like that. As always, anyone that's in the prop shop and is a contributor is more than welcome to come on this show. And if you're a contributor anywhere else in the community, please hit me up. I'm always looking for new folks to connect with and folks that have helped to build this community. Come on, let's talk about the slate. Let's see how you got started, and let's continue to build that DFS career. Boom shakalaka, my man, always in the building. Thanks for joining us. Corey Allen, thanks for joining us as well. We're going to kick this thing off. Winning words of wisdom. And I'm actually going to do two pieces of winning words of wisdom today, because what I came across, that it's geared more towards you personally, and then another one I think is just geared more towards both of them are geared towards mindset, but I just think they're really good. So here we go. This is from Hannah Bromfman, and here's what it says: don't forget to tell yourself positive things daily. You must love yourself internally to glow externally. And I think that's so true, right? The little things you've got going on in your mind, going on in your heart, they will manifest themselves if you're not careful. So you want to make sure, one of my favorite quotes, put good in, get good out. You want to make sure you're feeding yourself the right type of energy, feeding yourself the positivity that you need so that you can focus, so that you continue to be successful. Something I think we all heard as a kid, it takes a lot less muscles to smile than it does to frown. Turn that frown upside down. And here's a bonus one. And this is from Shiv Kara. It says, your positive action combined with positive thinking results in success. Positive thinking, positive actions, you're going to start to see some successful results. So hopefully that's a little word of encouragement for all of you people out there in the community. And hopefully that provides you with a little kick that you need to continue on your road of success. Here we go. So we're going to go over our recap for the month. And I am not thrilled about where we are in the month, but trust me, we were a little bit worse than this. This week has been okay outside of I think yesterday was a slightly rough day, but other than that, on the month we're at 19, 24, and 2. So we got to climb out of this hole in terms of the record. We have had some profitable days, though, of course, along the way. So yesterday, very disappointed. Kevin Gausman I don't know. He just had a rough start. His finish was okay. He did come back out in the 7th, but just could not get that extra strikeout. So we won at 6.5. We wanted more than that projection. That was a loss. We had Tyler Wells at 5.5. We wanted more than that projection. He did bump down to 5 for a little while as we got closer to the slate, bumped back up to 5.5. We got it. We got that one. Sandy Alcantara. Now this one was kind of the opposite of Gausman. Sandy had 5 strikeouts, I think, through 6, came back out, got that 6th strikeout in the 7th inning after it already probably given up 6 or 7 hits and 5 runs or something like that. I mean, just a bad beat on Sandy under 5.5. And then Castillo at 7. Listen, that was just a big old fat L. He never got it together. I think he had 3 strikeouts through 5, was at 82 pitches, just didn't have it yesterday. And that's how it goes sometimes. So yesterday we had a record of 1-3, which brought us to 19, 24, and 2. But I'm feeling a sweep today. I think today's going to be a good day. Here we go. Yeah, and Boom Shakalaka said that Sandy on 10 hits, had 10 hits, and still went over the strikeout prop It is perfectly fine. I'm not sweating it. Everything's going to be okay. Now, what I will say is, for whatever reason, Vivid has really been in the building this week. Now, there's one you can find across the industry. This one is going to be exclusively for Vivid, okay? You won't find this anywhere else right now outside of Vivid. Everyone else has the projection at 3.5, and that's Jake Irvin. We're talking early baseball, folks. Jake Irvin at 4 strikeouts on Vivid only. I checked the other sites. Jake Irvin was sitting at 3.5. If he bumps to 4, that's going to be fantastic. But we've got him at 4 strikeouts on Vivid, so this will be a Vivid play only, but it will count in the official tally for the month. And Jake Irvin is facing one of the lowest strikeout teams in baseball. And listen, this has been a theme for me this season. I have continuously, and I do mean continuously, attacked pitchers facing the Arizona Diamondbacks. I've consistently done this. We've got Jake Irvin sitting at a 60% K rate on the season, 13.3% to lefties, 19.7% to righties. And the last 30 days, a 14% K rate, 14.3%, 10% to lefties, 19% to righties. And he will see some lefties today. So he'll see Perdomo, who's a switch hitter. He'll see Marte, who's a switch hitter. He'll see Carroll. He'll see Thomas. He'll see McCarthy. And all of these guys are sitting with K rates at 21% or less. This is one of the lowest strikeout teams in baseball, 19.8% to be exact, with a projected lineup. I am hoping things come to fruition for us today with this particular prop. I love the fact that not only does this lineup have low strikeouts, they've got the power to get the job done. And so we look at the hard hit percentage here. We see that Jake Irvin's giving up 42.5% hard hits, and he's also walking guys at a 13.3% clip, which will help minimize those strikeouts. So I'm hoping that the Arizona Diamondbacks roll into town yet again and continue to pound these pitchers. One, that is Jake Irvin. When we look at what Jake Irvin's throwing, I can already assure you right now, the fastball, he's going to be throwing that. So when we look at what this team has done on the fastball, it's going to give us current and last season. Look at this, folks. This is beautiful. Outside of a couple bats and Perdomo, this is his big season this year. Outside of that, and Carroll's at a 31% K rate to fastball, but also a 535 ISO and a 546 WOBA. All of these guys, incredibly high walk rates. That's combined for current and last season. But the strikeout rates are low as well. We've got sinkers. Now, sinkers, we should see that the ISO is going to drop some because that pitch is designed to try and keep the ball on the ground. So we'll look at the sinkers. Look at that. So the ISO numbers drop, but look at the strikeout numbers here. Look at these beautiful strikeout numbers. Not a lot of strikeouts. Jake Irvin should have some serious, and I do mean serious, trouble on the mound today. So hopefully we'll get that one. Once again, he's at 4 on Vivid. Now, and so what I would do is I would get him on Vivid first. He is at 3.5 across the industry. I still like less than 3.5, okay? Still like less than 3.5, but 4 is beautiful for us right now on Vivid if you can get there. Charles Mann, thanks so much for joining us. Slim Scully, thanks for joining me as well. If you guys have any questions or anything random, always drop it in the chat. So we're going to stay on Vivid. Now, this one is the same across the industry as I've checked, okay? The same across the industry as I have checked, at least at the recording of this particular show. And that's going to be Tommy Henry. So on the other side of this game, we've got Tommy Henry, and he's at 4 strikeouts, and I want less than that projection as well. So here's the thing about Washington. Washington is also a fairly low strikeout team. Now, they'll get themselves in some jams, and sometimes they won't score runs, but they don't strike out a lot. They have given problems to pitchers. And so we've got Tommy Henry, lefty on the mound. Look at these strikeout rates for the Washington Nationals. 18% for Lane Thomas, who to righties, if I'm not mistaken, I think Lane Thomas is around 28%. I'm going to switch it really quickly and let's see. Look at that. Look at the difference. 28%, 33% for Stone Garrett. But as we go over to lefties, which is what they're facing today, Stone Garrett is still at 30%. Lane Thomas, 18%. Garcia, 14%. Candelario, 18%. 18% for Joey Meneses, who I really like. Ruiz, 28%. Stone Garrett, 30%. Dominic Smith, 18%. And C.J. Abrams, 25%. What we are hoping what we are hoping is that this Washington team continues to show up. I did check the weather report because Washington is a spot we always want to look at for the weather because they do some wonky things, but at least according to Kevin Roth, let's pull that up. As of this morning, yes. As of this morning, as you can see, Roth says a much better outlook today, maybe a sprinkle or two. But game time hours should be dry. Coolish with winds blowing in from right center at 10. That's the Atlanta. Most of the rain in Washington should hold off until after the game. Low chance of a delay. Temps in the 60s with winds blowing in from 10 miles per hour. So that's the weather report in Washington. Got it at yellow-green. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I don't think we're going to have any major issues. So let's look at what Tommy Henry's throwing here. Tommy Henry, mostly a fastball guy. Then we got curveball, changeup, slider. And as we can look at what this team has done, in terms of the fastball, everybody's looking pretty good here in terms of K rates. Obviously, you got Garcia, Stone Garrett, and CJ Abrams at 25%, 26%, and 26% respectively. We've got the curveball. We should see some higher K numbers here. And as you can see, we do have some slightly higher K numbers, but in limited plate appearances, I'm going to give those guys a pass. We'll look at the changeup. Should see some strikeout numbers here as well, as you can see, but limited plate appearances. Limited plate appearances for these guys, and then the slider should see something similar, right? So on the slider, not hitting the slider well. But what I'm not concerned about here is that particular in terms of how they split the pitches up with Henry, because Henry is such a low strikeout guy, period. So not only do we have better K rates for this team as a whole, Henry just doesn't strike out guys at an incredible clip. And he's walking guys at an almost 10% clip. So that should strengthen our strikeouts today for the Washington Nationals. All right, so hopefully in the same game, hopefully this is a game where we see some fireworks, where we see the ball flying around the stadium. Okay, all right, we're going to move on to another property. Now this one is the same across the industry, and what I'm going to say about this one is this is a guy that started out, let's call it semi-rocky this season, but now, folks, he has turned it on, and that is Blake Snell. We've got Blake Snell, folks, sitting at 7 strikeouts across the industry. If you can get him anywhere at 6.5, that is incredible. I'd love to be able to get Blake Snell at 6.5, but I don't think that's going to materialize in the pick'em streets today. But at 7 strikeouts, we've got Blake Snell facing the San Francisco Giants. What we'll see here at the top, we've got Slater at 24%. Matos, look, this limited plate appearance is a 0% K rate. Estrada, 17%. But we got J.D. Davis at 31, Patrick Bailey at 20, Schmidt at 13, limited plate appearances. Conforto at 33, limited plate appearances. VR at 31, Crawford at 25. Here's what I like about Blake Snell. Blake Snell is sitting at a 29.2% K rate on the season, 27% to lefties and 29% to righties. Now, if you haven't been following Blake Snell, here's what I will tell you. These numbers were not nearly as high earlier this season. Blake Snell was around, I think, 23 to 24%, right, on the K rate. So what I'm going to do, let's look at the last 30 days. I can almost assure you the last 30 days, within the last 30 days, Blake Snell has been over 30%. I could be wrong, but I can almost assure you. Look at this, folks. Last 30 days, 38.8% K rate, 31% to lefties, 40% to righties. Blake Snell has gotten back on track here, and as a result of what's been happening over the past month, it's continued to push that K rate to where we're used to with Blake Snell. Once again, I'm telling you, earlier this season, we were seeing Snell around 24%. Over the past month, though, he has turned it on, folks. And so facing the San Francisco Giants, I am not afraid of this lineup. There are some strikeouts here, especially 4 through 9. And really, even at the top of the lineup with Austin Slater, if Snell can come out, the walk rate is still something to be desired. Like, this is who Blake Snell is. He's always going to have a walk problem, right? We've always seen him have a walk problem. But if the strikeouts are there, this is a fantastic spot for him, especially with multiple guys over 30% and at least 2 guys around 25. I think this is a spot where Blake Snell could get off here. And one of my favorite quotes that I like for strikeout props or strikeout for the pick'em sites is this. low strikeout does not mean no strikeout. And I feel that way about the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Washington Nationals. Like, there will be some strikeouts, but we're hoping they're very limited. In this particular case, they do have some low strikeout bats, but I think Blake Snell will be able to get a couple, even the low strikeout guys. And just so you guys understand this, I saw Luis Arias even strike out a few nights ago, and I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. Luis Arias recorded a strikeout in Major League Baseball, one of the lowest strikeout hitters in the league. So let's go by a quick recap, and then we will get you guys out of here. So in the same game, we've got Tommy Henry at 4 strikeouts. We've got Irvin at 4 strikeouts. We want less than that projection, okay? We've got Blake Snell sitting at 7 strikeouts. We want more than that projection. And let's see here. Let's see if I'm going to do a bonus pick today. I think we're going to keep it at that. Let's keep it at 3 plays today. Irvin, Keller. Irvin less than 4. Irvin less than 4. Henry less than 4. And Blake Snell more than 7. In fact, you know what? Let's go with it. Bonus play today. Let's go Mitch Keller. 6 strikeouts facing the Miami Marlins. Let's go more than that projection. Folks, listen, thanks so much for joining me on Take Your Pick'em. I'm Chief. Come in with your pockets empty. Leave with your pockets full. I will see you tomorrow. Let's get the sweep today. We get the sweep today. The month is looking real good. I'll talk to you soon. See you tomorrow.